2,000 Borough fans have got to go there and hopefully roar us onto a victory. But you know what it is? It's hard to see now. I can't take it at Norwich. I can't stand Norwich. It's that club that just irritates me. So guys, what is going on? This actually looks right. I mean, the frame looks a bit all over the place, but let's deal with it. And also now, as you can see from the start of the video, and I have an intro, I've also got a microphone. I'm pretty much a YouTuber now. All I need now is an editing software and an actual Mac to edit on, and then boom, we're finally a YouTuber after like 3 years of doing this whole website thing. But yeah, welcome. And as the title suggests, end of the season would have been, of course, Saturday. For some reason, we would have played Saturday, and of course, the rest of the Football League would have played on Sunday. Now, of course, as it stands, Borough are 19th inside the table, 2 points off a relegation spot. And I say, if the season was to finish and the standards were to finish where they are right now, Borough remain in the Championship, and we do not get relegated. Now, do I think Borough would have got relegated? That's the big question now. Do I think we could have got relegated? Listen, I don't know. I don't know if we could have done all. I don't want to say we will, because I don't think we would have got relegated. I think we would have probably just about stayed up. This was a tough season with Jonathan Woodgate there, and at the start of the season and even towards sort of December time, when there's a lot of injuries in the team, a lot of matches thick and thin. I should say thick and fast. He didn't have a lot of options to work with. That made a lot of games difficult. We had to play players who were very much tired. Fatigue played a factor. But, he got through it. He pushed us through it. We went to West Brom and won 2-0. That was a game that nobody thought we'd get anything in. We went to Preston and beat them. In that month, December, which could have been our toughest month, we actually made it look like one of our easiest months. With the Forest and got a draw. And that's it. Jonathan Woodgate, I'm going to give it to him. I think he's done an alright job. I get that he's got his 19th, but a lot of people would have had us to be 24th in the league and be relegated by bloody October. Do you know what I'm saying? Yes, okay, times are tough. Yes, okay, we're inside the relegation zone for obviously parts of the season, but we're not in the relegation zone now. And if the season was to have finished on Saturday, who's to know? Do you know what I mean? Hopefully, I would like to have said that Borough would have stayed up. And I'm seeing all sorts all over sort of social media. Fans can be banned from stadiums till 2021. I don't honestly know when the football season is going to come back. I don't think it will come back this season. I think this season completely could be avoided. I should say just be void. But at the same time, I'm looking at it and thinking, League 1, League 2 teams are really suffering at the moment. Do you know what I mean? Income is what they kind of rely on, especially on a match day. And, if football doesn't continue soon, and if them sort of teams don't start getting revenue through the door, them teams might go under. And that's the sad part of football, is that, this is someone's business. This is the chairman's business. You know what I mean? Football is his business. And if he can't if he or she cannot afford to sort of keep this sort of business going, sometimes they have to go under. You know what I mean? Listen, it isn't the first time we've seen it. Of course, recently we've seen it with Bury. Their team completely wiped out the Football League completely, and Bury is a non-existent team. It's very, very sad times for football, and I look at it and I think, Bolton were close to doing it as well. Of course, they were in so much debt, it was unbelievable. I think they're in £41 million worth of debt still. So, of course, you know what I mean? Say if you do buy Bolton, of course, you have to pay off the debt and then, of course, venture out from there. But who knows? Do you know what I mean? Who honestly knows what's going to happen to football? We've been in lockdown now for 2 months nearly. I think it's about 2 months, isn't it? And of course, some people are finding it tough to sort of live with it, etc. But of course, at the same time, people are losing their lives due to this sort of awful sort of coronavirus, because that's what it is. It isn't exactly a pretty thing. It's a pretty awful thing. People are losing lives. People are losing loved ones every single minute of the day. If you like this, this sort of virus. And that's why in the back of my head I'm just thinking, do you know what it is? As much as I do miss a game, I ain't gonna lie to you. Listen, I'm a massive football fan. I love football, but at the same time, it's people's lives at the end of the day, and they have to come first. You know what I mean? Listen, health has to come first in this sort of situation. So, what will happen? We don't know. But back to the football. I just think to myself, if the season would have played out, and say if the virus ever would have been, where else would have finished? Got to actually get my words out there. It's a tough one to say, isn't it? I mean, last game we were at Sheffield Wednesday. We normally do all that at Sheffield Wednesday. I've been there a few times. I've never seen us lose. First time I went, we beat them 2-1. Ryan shot him with the header later on. Up like a salmon, is what I said in my Brother Fan TV interview. And then the year after, 2-0. Besic and Asson Bolonga, I believe. So let's say Sheffield Wednesday, decent away day. Of course, we would have had to still play I think it's Sheffield Wednesday at home as well, I believe. I don't know. I'm pretty sure we had to play them at home still. Unless I've just absolutely gormed out there and I've just completely felt like we've already played them. But, you know, looking at it, 2 points off the relegation spot. I took 19th, and I know a lot of people would have laughed at me, but I did say at the start of the season that I would take mid-table. Because, listen, we can't be harsh on Woodgate. It's his first ever football team that he's ever managed. Okay, he was like an assistant to Tony Pulis, but he still wasn't the manager. He was only learning bits and bobs here and there from, you know what I mean, from Tony Pulis. And a lot of people didn't like him. A lot of people called him Dinosaur. And, you know, called his tactics old and dated. I didn't mind Tony Pulis, I'll be honest with you. And listen, overall, he was a nice bloke, do you know what I mean? But I don't know, people. I just want to do the video to sort of say, you know, happy end of the season, if you like. I mean, when will the season continue? Will it ever continue? I don't personally think it will. But for the other League 1 and League 2 sides, that are obviously fearing of going out of business, I do hope it returns back for them soon. But of course, listen, we can't look past the fact that this is going to be safety first. And, you know, if it's going to be played behind closed doors, then it's going to be played behind closed doors. That there, if you're going to play behind closed doors, has to be super, 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 super safe, because I'm not joking, man. Like, obviously, you know, it takes 10 days to obviously kick into these symptoms. If a player touches another player and see if he's got it, and they could just sort of a whole new world of coronavirus. You know, I know we still haven't seen our sort of second wave or second peak, if you like, and that's the scary side of this virus is, you know what I mean, if there is a second sort of peak, can it get a lot worse? And I hope it doesn't. You know what I mean? It's very, very sad times. I mean, people losing loved ones all the time, and it's just not a very, very nice thing to be around. And this has got to be by far the worst year we've ever had. Year 2020 has got to be the worst year we've ever experienced. But listen, for as much as what I remember, obviously, you know what I mean, been on this earth nearly 26 years now, and I've never ever experienced a year like 2020. Yeah, been awful. But listen, I just want everybody to remain safe, everybody to remain indoors. Obviously, only go out if you absolutely need to go out. You know what I mean? Let's try and beat this virus together, people. And of course, everyone's missing the football. Everybody's missing, I don't know, going down the pub. Everyone's missing friends and family and girlfriends and boyfriends and brothers and sisters and cats and dogs. Everybody's missing all them things. But, you know, the only way that we're going to see them things quicker is, is everybody sticks to the government's guideline. Everyone stay safe. Everyone remain safe. You know what I mean? Let's just try and beat it together. That's the only thing I can ever say. But as for the football, listen, happy end of the season. I mean, the season would have ended on Saturday for us, and of course Sunday for the Football League. But the Premier League finishes in 2 weeks from now, I believe. I think that's how it works. You know, so listen, happy end of the season. Did your team go up? Would your team have stayed down? Let me know inside the comment section. Of course, it means that the Macans would have probably been in the playoffs, and I think Newcastle were like mid-table in the Premier League, and of course Borough avoided relegation in League 1. So, you know what I mean? It's happy days for us. I guess Sunderland fans won't be very happy the fact if the season does finish, because of course they are like inside the playoffs, and if the season goes null and void, that's it. They could be pretty good, because of course, I mean, in their eyes, they might have had a decent season being inside the playoffs, battling to try and get back into the Championship again. One day I do hope that all three North East teams are actually inside the Premier League together, because I remember a few years back when it actually happened, and it was good, do you know what I mean? Listen, there was some brilliant games there, and I hope it does happen again, because I miss playing Newcastle and Sunderland inside the same season, I'll be honest with you. So I hope one day that does return. But as I say, whereabouts would your team finish? If the season had finished, weekend just gone, whereabouts would your team finish? Of course, I know the majority is a Borough fans, but anyone's not a Borough fan, comment down below, let me know whereabouts would your team have finished. Would you have gone up? Would you have been relegated? Would you have been in playoffs? Or would you have been mid-table? Let me know. People, check out my social media as well. Links in the description. I'm on TikTok every single day, blasting out a new TikTok for you guys, so go and check that one out. My most recent to last one, 6,000 views, so go and check it out, people. And as always, like, comment, share, subscribe. Stay safe. See you later. Peace out.